Well, despite picketing, graffiti, and vandalism, the movie entitled Cruising was completed, and it will be shown in San Francisco this weekend. The theme is the homosexual lifestyle, but more specifically, however, it's about a series of brutal murders of gays. The gay community has protested, wanting no showing at all of that film. The film's distributors have other ideas. Randy Shandabil has the story.
No one, not even the filmmakers, deny that Cruising is a brutally violent movie. William Friedkin, the writer and director of the movie, has made a lot of violent films, including The Exorcist, which you're seeing here, and The French Connection. The difference is that this time around, gays are the victims of the violence. And gays are worried that it will give people dangerous ideas. The Ghirardelli Theater in San Francisco was scheduled to show Cruising, but last month, vandals sprayed graffiti on marquees and broke windows. As a result, Ghirardelli management dropped the film. The distributor of the film is United Artists, part of the giant Transamerica Corporation. Transamerica officials told us today that they have a First Amendment right to show the film, that the film will not spawn violence against gays, and that attempts to stop its release smack of book burning. Earlier today, Transamerica tried to reassure the gay community by setting up a special screening of Cruising. 40 prominent local gays saw the movie, but apparently the screening did not have the desired effect.
Every day in this city, dozens of gay people are beaten up, come close to being murdered. This film, it not only exaggerates that, it is almost an incitement to go out and murder people.
We are not asking for Transamerica to withdraw this film from San Francisco. We're asking for them to withdraw it from circulation, from the country.
I think it would be smart of the company who produced it to just do the country a service and withdraw it, but I wouldn't say withdraw something from the point of view of censorship. From a point of view of extremely poor taste, it's a piece of crap.
Tomorrow, in still another attempt to smooth things out, Transamerica plans to show the film to San Francisco police. Another indicator of just how nervous Transamerica and United Artists are about Cruising is their ad campaign. Usually with big-budget movies with superstars like Al Pacino, newspaper ads and television commercials make a point of telling you what movie theater the film's going to open at. Well, Cruising is due to open just 3 days from now, and Transamerica isn't telling anyone where. Obviously, they're afraid of more vandalism. In San Francisco, this is Randy Shandabil for the 10 o'clock news.
San Francisco police and city officials will be in a state of readiness tomorrow, canceling police leaves and stationing extra people at several locations around the city. These precautions were announced tonight by Mayor Feinstein and Police Chief Murphy to prevent violence over the movie Cruising. That movie will be opening tomorrow at several locations around the city, and officials expect protests in the gay community over its showing. Cruising is a movie about a killer who preys on homosexuals. It's a release from Transamerica Corporation. Its critics say it glorifies violence against gays. Mayor Feinstein revealed tonight that Transamerica officials have refused to pull that picture from theaters in the Bay Area, but she was hopeful that the protests against the movie would eventually bring about something positive.
I think what is going to come out of this is that there is a coalition that will be formed to boycott companies that continue to show the kind of trash that's just racked with violence and can be provocative of instilling future violence. I think America has had enough of it, and that somewhere along the line there should be a corporate responsibility to think of some of the sensitivities of individuals whose money they take to make money from their products.
Well, the mayor and the police chief are being extra careful on this issue. You'll recall the Dan White riots probably cost a district attorney and a police chief their jobs not too long ago. One criticism then was that the city was not prepared for the outraged reaction of the gay community, and Mayor Feinstein is trying to prevent that very criticism from surfacing again on this Thursday night, February 14th, 1980. After several threats, graffiti, sprayed walls, and lengthy consultations involving the mayor, the chief of police, and gay community leaders, the controversial movie Cruising opened in San Francisco today, minus the violence predicted. The subject matter of the movie is what caused the concern. Set in New York, it involved a cop's undercover efforts to find the person responsible for a series of brutal murders. All of the victims in the movie were gay, and that, said members of San Francisco's gay community, might inspire someone to try to act out the movie in real life. Claud Mann has a report on how opening night went tonight and what some of the viewers felt about the movie.
It's been a very peaceful and orderly demonstration. I imagine there are about 100 sign-carrying pickets now, but considering the size of the gay community in San Francisco and the demonstrations we've seen here in the past, That's not a very large demonstration. However, the boycott, the call for a boycott, and the bad reviews by the critics apparently have been at least partially effective. When we checked inside the theater, anywhere from 50 to 75% of the seats were full, but an undetermined number of those are plainclothes officers or security people hired by the theater. There were reports originally that everybody going in was being searched. That is not the case, though. A few people carrying backpacks or suspicious-looking packages have been stopped. Earlier in the evening, the crowd was very small, possibly 25 pickets out here, but it began to grow around 7:30 as the time for the rally approached. We talked with a few of the people who saw the movie and got their reaction. The reactions were mixed. Did you think it was worth seeing?
Not really. I don't think it really said anything.
Interesting.
Are you glad you saw it?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't think it was violence against gays as much as I thought it was violence against S&M.
I wasn't too good.
Sorry you saw it?
No, it just wasn't a very good movie.
There are very few uniformed policemen on the scene here at the theater tonight, but there are plenty of others standing by, staked out across the street about a block away, also at a command post, and they're here in case they're needed. At this point, it does not look as if they will be. This is Claud Mann in San Francisco for the 10 o'clock news.
Well, there'll be no pressure from the city to have the controversial movie removed or even have its run shortened, but the distributor may have no choice but to cut the scheduled run short unless the movie can attract a lot more paying customers than it did on this Friday night, February 15th, 1980.
Tonight's protest against the movie Cruising ended a day of extreme concern on the part of both gays and police officials. The San Francisco Police Department, fearing violence, had canceled all days off for its officers. The schedule called for a full day of protest beginning at 7 in the morning, but as Rita Williams reports, what is scheduled is not always what happens.
This is the flyer announcing a huge gay protest rally at the Transamerica Pyramid for 7 o'clock this morning. This is that rally. Not one protester showed up. Instead, the announcement brought out scores of reporters, Transamerica security guards, and San Francisco police officers. The flyer said gays would lock out workers at Transamerica, the parent company that owns United Artists, the distributor of the movie Cruising. Instead, employees reported for work as usual, saying they really didn't expect any trouble. Later, members of San Francisco's gay community said they really weren't surprised by the total lack of turnout. They said that, to their knowledge, gays had nothing to do with organizing this morning's flop.
In our community, we have a pretty good system of getting things up on telephone poles, and I have not seen anything looking like that on a telephone pole in the Castro, which is certainly where it would have appeared. Other people say they haven't seen it in the bars. I don't know who organized it.
These gays were meeting with San Francisco police officials today, checking out police procedures to try to assure that tonight's rally would not get out of hand. I asked them if all the protest against cruising wouldn't just draw more people out to see it.
Friedkin has quite a reputation for making sensational films. I think it is nonsense to assume that a movie this violent, that was made by a man with that kind of an established reputation for keeping people on the edge, would have died a quick death. I think our protests have affected the film very markedly. He had to edit it numerous times. It is probably cinematically worse than it would have been had we never had a protest.
At noon, the event gays across the country have been protesting against finally happened. The St. Francis Theater on Market began the first San Francisco showing of Cruising.
Come on, guys, let's get it going.
Okay, then, baby, tie me up. You want me to tie you up, and then what do you want me to do?
Let's get out of here.
While the movie was playing inside, a half-dozen informational pickets were working outside.
People who see this loathe it. They come out shaking. It's simply a good exercise in how to kill gay people.
Despite efforts like this, there was a steady stream of people paying the bargain $2 matinee price to see what the controversy is all about. Rita Williams in San Francisco for the 10 o'clock news.